Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a direct message to all of my students and indirect students, as well as the champions, etc. This is going to be a long video with many points. Some of the points I will stop and pause for long periods of time as I think things through, how to verbalize these things to you. So, one, this will be my last email shot, as it were, to the thousands upon thousands of people that are on my email list. The emails that you will receive are for those specific things that you do. For all of those people that are in receipt of my emails that don't do anything, I will not be sending you any emails. So my email list will be purged. The only people that I will be emailing are the ones that are my students or indirect students, the champions, the patrons, and so on and so forth. These are the people that actually do something, whether that is financially or be it, the service processors who are doing a fantastic job. Full stop on that. The second element, which is probably the most important for me, is that in the past, historically, when I have done the things that I'm doing with the champions and the Global Constitution, and quite literally transforming this world into a better place, what they call terraforming, okay? With the chemtrails, I've totally banned it in terms of pernicious use. For the purposes of generating rainwater and etc., I'll allow that to happen. I've also taken over the Universal Postal Union in Bern, Switzerland. The reason why is because any network that creates a contracting venue where an entire country like Nigeria can call itself dead and then make its people dead and the faith dead and the hope dead have no business. So I've reconstituted how the Universal Postal Union globally, another word for the post office, conducts its affairs. These nations and these necromancers, especially the solicitors, the courts, and etc., they'll be all coming under my jurisdiction and warrants will be served on them, some of which I will be personally going to serve them. That's that. Now, take it as a 2.1, as it were, in my description. Historically, I tend to pick up arseholes. I have no intention of picking up arseholes this time around. So if anybody thinks I'm here to fight their fight, go fuck yourself. If you think I'm going to substitute you and substitute this and do this for you, go fuck yourself. I hopefully made it very clear. For the third time, for those arseholes that think that they can come on my back to solve their bloody problems using my expenses, my knowledge, my technology, go fuck yourself. You have no place in it. Now, the service processors and all of those people that are on my team, you need to send me a scan of your passport or driving license and some proof of what they call dwelling. Okay, so 2 pieces of kit to know I know where you are, and some sort of a photo, not identification, but some sort of a qualification to pass through what they call passport, or a qualification to handle the roads, what they call a driving license. With that in place, I will not be able to put you in my website, and therefore you will not be recognized as part of the Global Constitution. Hopefully I've made myself clear. So anybody that is anybody, you make sure you send me proper scans. If you have not, don't bother. Don't even bother contacting me. If they're not proper scans and we're having to email you back and stuff, which costs me time and money, I'll just use that golden word, fuck off. Hopefully I've made that very clear. Now here's another bullet point. When you folks see anybody trying to infiltrate or make use of the works that you have done, like the service processors who've gone out and physically done things, like the champions, have put their names to letters to tell them that death sentences will be carried out if babies are found in the food supply. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you find yourself being infiltrated or somebody's trying to attack me or what we're doing, you gang up on them and you rip them to pieces. Because what you are doing is so important. It is actually changing the fabric of how our world is going to be run. You guys understand? Now, there is also quite a lot of presumption and a consumption upon my students as well as the champions. Try not to have any. It's easier to say because the presumption and assumption is the mother of all what? Fuck-ups. Okay, say it again. Presumption and assumption is the mother of all F-ups. Being a little bit more diplomatic. That is that. Some latest news. As you can see, Africa will never be the same by the fact of what we have done. The Middle East will never be the same. The religions, the Middle Eastern religions, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, they will never be the same. Never. Islam, I broke the code on it, and therefore I took custody of the Quran. I've sacked all the privateers around there that get you to kiss that ring in the Cabal, you know, that big black stone, which is essentially this. You see this pen? This is a privateer's pen. It's an open advertising. I use it to advertise that I know what you guys are up to. And I will show you that ring, that insignia or inset that the Muslims kiss. Okay? It's this pen they're kissing. And that is what they kiss. That's the identical symbol that you see in Mecca. All of those codes are broken. Because I have broken it, and because what I have done in Africa, they've honored me with the position of taking some, shall we say, very important seats of honor, and positions is the correct word. Turns out, although my intention was not that, I didn't have that intention when I first did it. It turns out they've honored me because I've set the slaves free. You know, I didn't think in those terms that when I did what I did for Africa and Nigeria, that they were thinking in that terms. I thought it's just disgusting to call a race of people, I say race, you know, sparingly, that they are somehow dead. And a contracting venue is being created for that Nigerian government, which you can flush down the toilet anytime that you want. Any man or woman in Nigeria can pull that piece of shit calling the president or any one of those archbishops like Bishop Tutu and nonsenses like that. In South Africa, what I can best describe as a black Negro. Black means dead, Negro means dead, called what's his name? Half-wit Nelson Mandela, or witless buffoon. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you, the iconoclastic wave that I created in the last 3 months is quite literally reforming this planet by purging all the shit out of it. The shit, of course, is those old bloody liars and privateers that have done such wickedness that there is no forgiveness for it. That's called a purge, when the mask that they hide behind is being pulled off. When the mask comes off, the game is over. Full stop. Now, Israel has gone into being Christian. Okay, Israel now is a Christian state and not a Jewish state. It reverted back to the original contracts that it had with Christianity. That's all the nonsense that you're seeing in, you know, which is the reverse nonsense of what you're seeing in Israel. So what does that mean? It just basically means that their contracts are running on the principles of Christianity and not the Talmud. You guys understand? So their outreach program is for Christians. Their contracts have reverted. And as a result, I have taken over the Star of David and the wisdom of Solomon. Okay? Full stop on that. I need you folks to understand something. We are at a very pivotal moment in our history since the corona period. And that is, you have to comprehend what subspecies are and how they work their evil, how they weave their wickedness into things. A typical example of that is a mortgage. I mean, what kind of a fucked up asshole says death pledges? That carries a death sentence in the most mundane of religions. Yeah, in Islam it carries a death penalty. In Christianity, it offers forgiveness if they confess their sin in the public. But they haven't done so. So, what is it that I'm saying? Whether you're in a remote island with some tribes people, you sell them a mortgage and they find out what it is, they are going to take you into, so we say, the outbacks, smash your legs, and let the baboons feed on your testicles and your genitals. You understand? That's how bad this stuff is. So, because of that, go and visit my website on toxic people, toxic corporations, as well as the individuals that have come my way and wasted so much of my time. You see, what we do, and listen carefully, all right? So shut your mouth and listen carefully. What we do is we project our kindness onto other people, thinking that is what they are. We project our love for each other onto other people, thinking that's what they are. So that's like me projecting my insecurities, my wickedness onto you, transferring it for the purposes of it settling into you and taking root and eating you alive. You understand this? And so it is what we do foolishly. We show kindness, we show love to all of these people that actually look upon us to do harm. And you've got to understand this. You see, it's a far-reaching concept to know that some arsehole out there, whether it's a male or a female, is actually fully engaged in bringing you down so they can enjoy the fact that they saw you suffer. It is very difficult to understand that somebody at this moment is engineering to kill you. And that's an individual or a corporation, and they're getting caught out. You understand what I'm saying? Study the effects of it. You're doing this for yourself, not me. But don't ever use what I have done to solve your stupid problems. Or ask me to do it. I'll use the F-off word. I never gave you permission to use the Global Constitution for anything else other than servicing it and reminding people what good conduct is. So don't send me your pathetic court cases and stuff, because I ain't interested. I am not your savior. Go fucking save yourself. You remember what you did to Jesus? You crucified him and blamed all of your shortfallings on him. That's the work of a coward. You remember the story of David? What is the story of David? They throw in a 14-year-old boy with a slingshot, with a monster of a man. What kind of a group of people throws in a 14-year-old boy to fight the battles of an entire nation? That's not a story of heroism. That's a story of how cowardice these people really are. You understand? If there was a man there, he would have went and picked up David, put him back into safety, and go and deal with Goliath himself. But they don't. They celebrate. They threw in a 14-year-old boy, and that 14-year-old boy brought the monster to an end. It's a story of cowardice. Okay? So, what we have done, what I have done, the knowledge that I've put in, the monies that I've put in, And the patrons, the contribution the patrons have in the faith of the service process, the champions, as well as them themselves, are now quite literally moving across this world, terraforming itself with the new matrix wave. Go and visit my website, talk amongst yourself to how many accomplishments have been achieved just in the last 3 months. I think you folks understand. So, just to quickly recap, this will be the last email shot. Any other emails we have are the people that actually do things. Anybody else, I'm simply not interested. For those people that want to go through the mortgage elimination, you can email us. When you email us, and listen carefully because we're not going to remind you, you show us some proof of dwelling, a passport, or driving license. If we don't have that on record, we're not going to entertain you. Okay? Now, just to recap on a few other things. The people that stand up first, and the people that stand up second, and the people that stand up third are essentially the heroes or the champions of what I do and what I am doing. The fourth ones are usually those ones that want to feel safe. Oh, well, they've done it. Let's join the club. These are the people that believe in the flat earth theory. The people that believe in the flat earth theory are identical to the people that believe that the world is a sphere. Both of them cannot explain very much. The ones that can, they're the only ones that have weight, whether they believe that the earth is a triangle, a sphere, or flat, because they are following and doing their best to comprehend. The ones that follow, the flat earthers, the eco warriors, and all this kind of nonsense, they're the ones that you have to look out for. They're the ones that will screw things up because they don't know the difference between cake that is made out of their own feces or, I think you understand what I mean, okay? Your greatest threat and your greatest enemy is actually your fellow man. You probably worked that out. And that's what you've got to protect yourself from. All the information that you're seeing coming out of the news, that's all just batshit talk. That's what newspaper reporters are. They're just shit people. They're just shits. Just think of it that way. Period. Politicians are nothing more than, at their best, masturbators. At their worst, trying to defecate on people's mouths and stuff. It's you that will be now shitting into their mouths, and I'm not going to be using any sparing or diplomatic words. Okay? So essentially, I think 194 countries, is it? 94 or 93 countries in the world that is treated with the Universal Postal Union is now in my jurisdiction. The trust law position of the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary is also in my jurisdiction. I will be commencing training of 2 sheriffs tomorrow really, and today is Monday the 27th March 2023. And once they are trained, which will only take me about 10 days or so, I'll be starting the training of the other coroners and sheriffs parallel. Now, this is what you've got to understand for you sheriffs and the coroners. With the exception, and I use that sparingly as well, with the exception of your beloveds, which is like your family, your wife, or children, or whatever it is, this is one of the most important things that you're ever going to do in your life. As a result, take me serious, take yourself serious. If you don't turn up, I ain't dealing with you. Okay? I'll create the time schedules for it and send it off. It'll be round about, shall we say, 9 p.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. 3 days in a week, excluding Friday. All right. So in Australia, the time will be similar to that. The training will not be very long, okay, because it does not need to be. It'll only take me 10 days on a full-time basis to teach you what I need to teach you, okay? So that's where we stand. Please, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, what the conduct of what your fellow man is basically narcissism, psychopathy, and the various other subspecies conditions that resonate inside of their brain. Cowardism, stagnation, all of that sort of stuff. These are the people that will allow World War II to take place, or the killing of children and babies and things like that in the form of Holocaust and stuff. And I ain't talking about the German Holocaust. There are many other types of Holocaust. That is that. If I have anything else to say, I'll make another video. Okay, so look forward to having part 1, part 2, all within this email. And this is compulsory listening. Don't have time to listen? Then I don't have time for you. I think I've got my message across. For all of my seriousness, this is to keep us safe, you safe. I'm safe because I get on with things. Until next time, talk to you later.